But I heard about the Sweetwater Trust working on the Little Menomonee Creek, which is up in more the protection and the enhancement area.
Okay.
Um, but it's really neat seeing how developed the plan is for the Menomonee River and the Watershed Action Plan. So have you been involved in the process, or how does the City of Brookfield involved with
Well, City
what's
of
going on?
Brookfield's a little unique in that the vast majority of the city is actually not in the Menomonee River watershed, but we do have a nice, probably good sliver of the city that is within that watershed area. So most of our tributary area is small streams that actually end up eventually really contributing to the larger aspects.
Okay.
So you figure, even though we are only a small portion in this watershed, there's still things that we could be doing to help, contribute to the improvement of it.
Right, yeah, all those streams add up to big water.
And most of the city of Brookfield is very developed. I mean, it may be good portions of it are residential, but there's not a whole heck of a lot of open space left anymore. So,
So are you guys looking at taking cement out, or?
we had looked at a couple. We had one project. It was a stream that was enclosed in 1967 that we actually had looked at opening that back up, and did a lot of analysis on it. Met with the residents on multiple occasions. Had a couple of meetings with our Board of Public Works, and eventually the project was determined not to be viable for that area. But that was just one. So there's other areas that maybe we have some opportunities for, removing some pipe where streams were enclosed.
How's your interaction with the other groups within the trust?
We get together. We have, through our permit, we actually formed a group for our NR 216 permitting process, the MS4 group. We actually meet about every 6 to 8 weeks with seven other communities, pretty much on a regular basis. Sometimes a few others will join us, but we all get together and go over the different activities that we're all involved in. Like we have Menomonee Falls is doing all the pet waste, activities, so it's like, how can we incorporate their activities into the City of Brookfield without having to reinvent the wheel? And then we have other spots where we're working with MMSD on a green roof project, and hopefully also doing a rain garden project in conjunction with that, and then sharing that information with the other communities, saying, these are the stumbling blocks that we encountered, and this is what I would recommend if you guys plan to implement something like this in your community. You may want to do this, this, and this instead. It'll make the process go a lot smoother. Just good, good pieces of sharing information like that.
Yeah, and then you're at that sub-watershed scale, so you can kind of hone in on the issues, or you even find out what the issues are to start with, too, right?
We do a community newsletter that goes out quarterly. We always put information in there about pet waste, salt applications, information to the residents about stuff like the newest phosphorus rules and how that affects them and what things they can do and how to educate themselves about that. All sorts, just all the little
education.
things, right? Mostly just making sure we get the community involved. That's the whole crux of it. I mean, you never know how much people want to get involved until you really put it out there and ask the residents, and you'd be surprised how many people really want to do projects like rain gardens in their own properties. And
so you've
it's
seen
exciting.
A lot of involvement. Has it increased a lot over
Yes,
the last
absolutely.
couple of years?
And I think that it has a lot to do with the education that not just the city is putting out there, but organizations like Sweetwater Trust and MMSD and all the other ones that have their different websites and newsletters and newspaper articles, and kind of piques people's interest and gets them kind of thinking more about it.
There's more of aware of what's there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's neat.